Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Yaseen, and I, inshallah, am here to take you to a practical guide to Hajj and the logistics that you all, inshallah, will be experiencing on this journey that you've chosen to travel with TWF Hajj, inshallah. What we're going to go through would be the preparations and essentials that we have over the last few months taken you through and given you notices for and given you updates around. We will then go through the next phase, which is the logistics of the journey from your departure and entry into Medina, Munawwara, through to Makkah, Azizia, and into the Mashayir, inshallah, and some practical guidance around that. We will touch on the Hajj rules and regulations throughout the presentation, just to keep you all up to date with that, inshallah. Before we begin, I'd like to say shukran for choosing us and giving us the opportunity as TWF Hajj to be your partner and service provider on this journey. And inshallah, you are now part of helping to raise the standard of Hajj services for all South Africans. Over the last few months, we've informed you guys on the WhatsApp platforms and the various communications that we have sent out that these are the most essential items that you'll need on your journey that cover most of your aspects. Number one, you're going to need a smartphone, which is capable of installing WhatsApp and our Muzdalifah app. You will also need to require any chronic medication that you have. You'll need to require a script for it, as well as enough quantities for the duration of your journey. So if you need to speak to your doctors, please do and arrange for not only the script, but as well as quantities to cover you for the duration of your journey. One of the most important things is your travel documents. Please ensure that your passport is valid and up to date, and it is the same passport that was given to us for your visa. This will be handed back to you at the road shows that we have in Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town. Your yellow card and meningitis vaccinations, as well as COVID-19 vaccination inoculation certificate for those over 65. Inside your travel wallets that we handed back to you, we would have given back to you your passports and your visas. Your yellow cards and your vaccination certificates are your responsibility. Hujaaj, you must ensure that you have that when leaving home and traveling to the airport, inshallah. Do not cause any delays or inconveniences to yourself or to the group by arriving without that, because you will not be allowed to board if you don't present this documentation. Something I can advise to all Hujajis: leave a copy of these documents with family back home. This will be a benefit in case something happens, in case of an emergency. Leave photocopies with them back home, or alternatively, store a copy onto a Google Drive or iCloud account that you can access at any time. I also advise all Hujaaj to please ensure you have a power bank with you and a UK style travel adapter. They don't use the same plugs that we use in South Africa, so you would have to get a travel adapter, which you can purchase from Mr. Price Sport, Takealot, Macro, any retail store that sells travel accessories. You are looking for a UK style travel adapter, please ensure you have one with you. We also strongly advise that every Hujaaj travel with a power bank within the airline restrictions and requirements. You will find that on this journey, there will be times where you are out of your hotel room for extended periods of time, and especially on the days of Hajj, you will need access to a power bank. And I will show this to you later on in the presentation. When you get to the Mashayir, especially Mina, there's limited access to plug points, and especially if husband and wives want to communicate with each other, or then for all Hujaaj, being able to access the communications that we share with you regarding times for pelting or times that buses are arriving. If you don't have a power bank, your phone will be off, and then you will not get those notifications. I'm going to touch base on the mandatory vaccinations just once more. According to the latest Hajj and Umrah Ministry of Health guidelines, all Hujaaj require a valid meningitis vaccination within a 3 and 5 year period. You will also require, or recommended for you to have, a flu vaccination. This is available at your local pharmacies, your local clinics, and your doctors. Anyone over the age of 65, it is mandatory for you to have the COVID-19 inoculation as well as a flu inoculation. You do not get a certificate for the flu inoculation, but you can ask your doctor or the clinic giving it to you to give you a piece of paper stamped and dated or signed that you have received it. Please ensure that when arriving at the airport, you have your vaccination certificates all in order within your travel wallet and can present it at the check-in counters when asked. We are not liable or responsible for any costs incurred for Hujaaj who are not allowed boarding or have to miss flights as a result of coming to the airport with these cards and vaccination certificates. on this journey, the most important thing is your health. Please ensure that you look after yourself, that you are taking some supplements, and you're building up your levels from now. The journey of Hajj is a difficult one. You will be tired. You will be exhausted. Something that we've recommended over the years is a combination of Baraka Boost and A-Immune, which helps improve your immune system and helps keep your energy levels up. Hujaaj, please note, if you experience any health difficulties during your journey with us, please notify the mission team immediately. Should you require a wheelchair or wheelchair services within Medina or Makkah, please budget between 500 to 750 riyals for tawaf and sa'i. During the days of Hajj, if you do need one, we recommend that you either bring one from home or you purchase one from Nahdi Pharmacy, which is about 200 to 250 riyals when you're in the kingdom. Please note, you will require a caregiver, either your spouse, your partner, siblings, or whoever's with you, to push you in this wheelchair. With regard to currency, we like to remind Hujaaj that the maximum amount of currency that they can leave South Africa with is 25,000 rands according to the SARS regulations. You are allowed to leave South Africa with a maximum of 160,000 rands in foreign currency. Please note, all foreign currency purchased should have a receipt from a registered foreign currency operator. So if you're going to APSA or Al Baraka or Global Foreign Exchange, you will receive a receipt. You need to keep this receipt with you to confirm that you've obtained this currency through legal means, and if asked to present it at immigration, present the receipt to them. The best practice that we advise Hujaaj over the years is to carry a portion in either US dollars or riyals and the rest in your bank account, which is accessible via card. Your MasterCard or your Visa card works perfectly well in the kingdom as long as you've notified your bank of the country of travel that you're entering into, in this case Saudi Arabia, and the dates of your travel. So if you're landing on the 1st of May and you're departing on the 13th of June, notify your bank either via their online banking app or by calling them of the dates of your travel so that your card is active for use in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is always advisable to, if you have a spare card, try keep a spare card on hand so that you have one and your wife has one. Our advice over the years has been to carry a portion in cash and the rest on your card, and you can go to an ATM and withdraw it as you need. When it comes to your passport and travel wallet, Hujaaj, we've given this back to you either at the Cape Town event or inshallah if you're attending the Durban event on the 21st or the Joburg event this coming Saturday. Please ensure that, number one, do not lose the items and the documentation placed inside your travel wallet. Once we hand that over to you, that your responsibility to look after, and I know you're going to get excited, and I know you're going to have friends and family coming over, and you're going to want to show them, this is what the visa looks like, this is what I've got, this is my tickets. Please do not misplace these documents. It's a challenge to then have to replace them or find you at the airport, try and find an office to print them for you to then place these documentation back into your wallet or to present at the check-in counters. With regard to your passport, Hujaaj, we've placed your passport within a branded TWF passport cover, and we have placed on this passport cover identification stickers for your movements from Medina to Makkah, whether it is via train, via private vehicle or via bus, as well as a departure sticker. These stickers and this passport cover, your passport has to remain within this, as it is vital for us when we're batching your passport at the Muassasa offices, so that we can identify and pull them out correctly, because it's not just your passport that's here, it's thousands of passports, and the branding and the identification and the colors on these passports allow us to easily know, number one, that your passport belongs to our group, and number two, to easily batch it in accordance with your movement dates on the relevant dates from Medina to Makkah, and then obviously your departure from Azizia back to Jeddah for your flight back home, inshallah. Judge, a part of the document that we've given back to you, you would find, with your Hajj packs, you're going to find that we've given you a branded TWF bag, a branded TWF backpack, a TWF lanyard. The importance of this, of using your backpacks and your lanyards and your shoe bags, is there are thousands of Hujaaj, millions of Hujaaj, especially once you're on the days of Hajj start and you're all in Ihram. These colors, these branding identification markers allow us not only to find you and to see you, but also for you to see your group. If you are separated, you can immediately look for the colors on the back of the shoe bag, you can look for the backpack, you can look for the lanyard around your fellow Hujaaj's neck. I think the visual I've put on the screen helps put it into something visual for you to understand. In a sea of white, you will stand out with the colors we've given you, inshallah. Hujaaj, your luggage on this journey is determined by two aspects. Number one, your plane ticket that is issued to you will tell you that you're allowed 2 pieces of check-in luggage per person and a carry-on per person. Luggage normally comes in 3 sizes: a large bag, a medium-sized bag, and a carry-on size bag. The carry-on size bag is allowed into the cabin and fits into the overhead storage compartments on the airplane. The medium-sized bag and the large bag is considered a check-in bag. A couple traveling together should ideally not have more than 2 check-in bags and a carry-on bag in total. Try to travel as light as possible. Do not overburden yourself with extra pieces of luggage. Not overburden the mission team with extra pieces of luggage. And I'll come to that in a minute, and when I explain to you why we advise you to travel with the least number of pieces as possible. Throughout this journey, it is a land-based journey. Too many pieces of luggage cause transport issues, as the buses that are provided by the Muassasa and the Naqaba, these are standard buses that fit 50 passengers at a time. But the storage compartments below the buses can't fit so many pieces of bags. The international standard for travel, especially for Hajj, is a medium-sized bag. So they account for 50 pieces of luggage to fit inside that compartment below the bus. South Africans have a habit of traveling with every single piece of luggage they can find, as well as the kitchen sink, and then still bringing boxes with them. We can't fit all of this into the buses that are provided. We then now have to hire trucks to load your bags. This then causes an extra logistical challenge as well. One thing I need to remind you, Hujaaj, of is that power banks and electronic devices are not allowed to be in checked-in luggage. This has to go into your carry-on, so please keep this in mind. When you're traveling from point to point via bus, it is your responsibility to ensure that your luggage is taken from the bus and kept with the TWF luggage, either when loaded onto the bus or taken off the bus. To help us on our journey and for your ease of identification, we will provide you with airline-grade luggage tags. These tags will be provided to you in Medina 2 to 3 days before your departure. We ask you that you place the relevant colored tag identifying your hotel accommodation in Makkah. You take the tag and you place it securely around the top handle of your bag. Once these bags are loaded or brought down for us to load onto the trucks to transport to to Makkah, we will move them and pack them according to the color identification, so that we know that when the truck arrives in Makkah, the pink tags must go to Makkah Hotel, the blue tags go to Darul Tawheed, the white tags to Hyatt Regency, the black tags to Anjum, etc., and so on and so on. It just helps us make things as easy as possible for identification. Some of you frequent travelers are saying, or the first-time travelers might be asking, but the airline allows us 2 pieces of luggage to check in each. So, alhamdulillah, mashallah, the airline is not performing Hajj. Emirates is not performing Hajj. Qatar Airlines is not performing Hajj. You are performing Hajj. The journey of Hajj is majority land-based. So you can maximize on your luggage on your return flight after Hajj is done. So any shopping that you do, any gifting that you want to purchase, do so in Azizia. It is cheaper in Azizia. If you need to get another bag, you can buy it in Azizia and then you can load it there. But we appeal to all Hujaaj from Medina to Makkah, and even from South Africa to Medina. Travel as light as possible. The journey of Hajj has improved. The infrastructure has improved. The stores and facilities have improved. A lot of the items you can't find there. A lot of the provisions you can't find there. So there's no need to pack everything in the kitchen sink when leaving home. Once you land in Medina, we will then ask you to get connected to a SIM card. Now, at the SAUC roadshows, you would have heard that SAUC is providing with SIM cards. These are arranged through Mobily, and these Mobily kiosks and reps, they will either come to the hotel foyer or they will be placed outside the hotel. The SIM card is free, but the package you have to purchase is up to the Hujaaj. Each visa allows a Haji to activate 2 SIMs. So a husband can activate the SIM card for his wife and himself, or you can activate one SIM card each. They do this via the biometrics, and you scan your fingerprint or your thumb at the kiosk, And the costs are displayed on screen for you. You can inshallah see the durations of the package that they're valid for. Some of you will be traveling for 6 weeks and 5 weeks. So the decision you then make is, do you then take a 30-day package initially or a 14-day package initially? And once that package expires, go back to the kiosk or the nearest mobile cell phone provider and top up with the value amount and then type in the code to renew your package for the remaining duration of your journey. Those of you traveling for some of the 3 weeks or the 2-week packages, you can choose the 30-day packages. That should be fine for you, inshallah. But it is vital that you keep in mind, of the day you activate your package and the day that your package is expiring, the cell phone will send you SMSs, the mobile system will send you SMSs and notifications telling you that your package is about to expire. If your package does expire, don't panic. You can still retain the number. Just go, like I said, to a mobile kiosk or a mobile vendor and have them purchase a scratch card and load that airtime value onto the device, and then you can follow the prompts to reactivate that package. There's no need for you to purchase a new package. You can then just reactivate that package. A lot of you have been asking over the last few months, can't I use an eSIM? Hujaaj, do not get an eSIM. The cost parity and you will spend 3 to 4 times as much on the data on an eSIM that you would on a physical SIM package. The second thing is that you won't be able to make phone calls to your mission team. You won't be able to make phone calls to your fellow Hujaaj with an eSIM. eSIMs are only data. Lastly, before I want to remind Hujaaj, before I move on to that, eSIMs are unreliable. Their connection is erratic. You will be sitting next to someone with a physical SIM. They will be able to make clear calls, clear data calls, video calls, and you will have 1 bar or 2 bars of signal at most times, especially on the days of Hajj. Through experience, we've seen that eSIMs are erratic and they do not have connectivity and connection, especially during the days of Hajj. So please ensure you're getting a physical SIM on arrival. What we've picked up over the last few years is that we are all used to using WhatsApp to call family and friends back home. WhatsApp calls are banned in Saudi Arabia. So unless you've installed a VPN or a virtual private network, please don't try calling anyone on WhatsApp. It'll frustrate you, it'll frustrate the mission team. We won't be able to pick up that call and you will continue to try calling. It might be an emergency and we can't communicate with you. We can't pick up or return that call. You can't call family and friends back home on WhatsApp. Hence, we advise you get the physical SIM and use IMO or BOTIM or one of the other alternatives like Google Meet to call family and friends back home. They would have to install the same app that you're installing as the platform to make communication with them back home. This is my favorite part of the presentation. I actually did this when I was flying to Cape Town. Hujaaj, we have reiterated the rules for our WhatsApp communications to you several times over the last couple of months. On this journey, we have to be very strict with this. Number 1, don't forward memes, don't forward Friday Jummah messages. You'll have other platforms for that. Our platforms are specifically for our communication with you and for us to receive questions and queries or emergency requests in case you need help. Don't forward stickers. Don't forward these things. When our phones beep, we have to pick it up and look. These little graphic items may seem cute, but they are frustrating to deal with. We have to delete them every time they're placed up on the group. Don't post them, don't use them, we will delete them. Continue the people who continue to use them or don't follow the rules, we will have to remove you from the group platform, and then you will rely on your fellow Hujaaj for communication, and you will then have to rely on your printed itinerary or the TWF app for information that we share with you. So a reminder, do not use stickers on our WhatsApp platforms, do not use WhatsApp voice calling, and number 1, please don't forward du'as and greetings. You'll have other platforms to that. Our platform is specifically for notices and communication. Shukran. Inshallah, now we were going to go through the logistics of the journey from Medina to Makkah, Azizia, and the Mashayar, inshallah. So I've shared this map with you guys on the group several times, but I'm going to leave it up on screen now as well. The map that we've prepared for you shows the locations of the hotels being used by us for your Hajj journey. Those are marked in the yellow pins. The red pins mark the locations of key landmarks around the Haram, as well as the hospitals or clinics that you can use if you need an emergency. As a Hajj visa holder, you can go to any clinic or hospital around the Haram and they will attend to you, inshallah. If you need assistance, please message one of your mission workers and they will assist you with that as well. it is important to Hujaaj, spend some time with the maps that we share with you, identify where your hotel is, and take cognizance of where the nearest clinic is, where the entrances to the haram is, and where the other hotels are in relation to where your hotel is as well. Inshallah, once you land in Medina Munawwara, you will pass through passport control. At this point, you will present your visa and the required documentations and complete your biometrics. They will scan a picture of your face and ask you to scan your fingerprints. SAWAC officials are at the side of the airport to assist you. Once you proceed past this, you will come to the luggage carousels. Hujaaj, please ensure you take your luggage off the carousels onto your own trolley. And as you're exiting out into the arrivals, you will be met with your mission team, and you will be then guided through from arrivals to the buses that are waiting for you outside. If you have any bags that have not arrived, before you exit into the arrival section, please notify one of your fellow Hujaaj that you're waiting for the bag. They will let us know. Notify one of the SAWAC reps. They will let us know. We are not allowed inside the luggage collection area. You then have to go to the counter at for lost luggage and notify them that a bag hasn't arrived. They will ask for the luggage stub. They will ask for your contact details and your hotel. Once they retrieve the bag, you will then have to go back to the airport to collect it. Once you've completed this Hujaaj, exit into the arrivals area, and as I mentioned before, the mission team will be waiting for you. They will collect you, and then they will guide you to the buses that are waiting for you. As you're boarding the buses, your passports will be taken away from you, and they will hand it to the Muassasa officials. Don't worry about your luggage at this point. Just make sure that you hand it to your mission team has taken possession of it, and it'll be loaded into the bus. You won't be allowed to push your luggage. There will be a porter from this bus. From the time you leave the luggage, enter into the arrival hall, they will push the trolley from you to your buses that is waiting for you outside. Hujaaj, according to regulations, we have to have you out of the airport within 15 minutes. Please do not delay the group. Please do not stop for a SIM card. Please do not go to the masjid for salah. We will get fined. We will get penalized. We need you to go from the arrival section direct to your bus, as we have timings that we need to manage, and we will then ensure that you get to the haram in time to check in, and then you can then proceed either to read your salah at the hotel or proceed to read your salah at the haram, inshallah. Please note, check-in times are after Asr Salah. Please be patient should you be arriving at a time that is before that. Inshallah, where it is possible, we will try our best to have your rooms ready for you. If not, there may be a slight delay. Inshallah, we will do our best to try and avoid that. Once your mission team has greeted your hotel and your luggage has been offloaded from the bus, you will be given your room key cards. You can then identify your luggage and proceed to your room. Please use this time to rest and refresh yourself. Inshallah, notice will be then placed on your WhatsApp group and according to your itinerary to say that we will now take you to convey your salam to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You've traveled for 24 hours. Have a rest, have a shower, put on your best garments, put your attar on, and then once your time comes to convey salam to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we will notify you. You meet the group in the hotel foyer, and we will guide you and take you to the points and show you and help you, assist you with the method and procedure for conveying salam. A lot of you are asking about your group Roda bookings. Inshallah, this will then be provided to you after your arrival. We will update you your itinerary via the TWF app as well as on your WhatsApp group as to when the men's time is and when the ladies' time is, inshallah. As you can see on the slide, we will guide you across through to Masjid Nabawi. When we do this walk, we also do an orientation. We show you the entrances for the ladies. We show you the entrances for the men. We point out key landmarks. We point out some of the gate numbers around the haram and this is going to help you identify how you get to your hotel and how you get back to your hotel. It's very easy on your first few nights to get us orientated. We ask Hujaaj, please pay attention to the locations, watch what we show you, watch how you walk to your hotel, watch how you walk back to your hotel from the haram. No one is ever lost in Medina. You may get disorientated for a bit, but inshallah, once you know where your hotels are, once you know what the landmarks are, once you know how to identify gate numbers and haram door numbers, you will start finding the navigation easier. In this slideshow, which we're making available as a PDF version, which we will communicate, which I will share with you on your WhatsApp groups, these are the entrances for Salam. These are the entrances for the Roda. Your mission team will guide you on the first day to show you how this works and where these pinpoints are. We will point this out to you, but I've included this here as reference so that at any time you can open up this PDF and you can browse through and see exactly where these are, inshallah. During your stay in Medina, you will have your respective WhatsApp chat will communicate with you your meeting points and times for your ziyarah and your mandatory lectures with the ulama team. Please pay attention to these. Please try and your best to avoid missing these. Timing is very important, Hujaaj. Try your best not to delay the group and do not miss out on any activities. We can't keep buses waiting for too long. If we are doing a bus ziyarah and we ask you to meet outside the hotel at 7:30, Hujaaj, please be outside the hotel at 7:30. If you are not on that bus, we will let the bus depart onwards for the ziyarah that we have planned for them. Something very important for Hujaaj to note is those who are participating in the Badr Ziyarat on the 6, 5 and 4 week packages. Please note that this is out of our control. We will do our best to bring you back to the Haram in time for Dhuhr Salah, but you may not make it back due to unforeseen circumstances such as traffic on the road or delays with checkpoints. This is some images of the Ziyarats and lecture. The image on the left is the Asafia Museum. Hujaaj, once your stay in Medina is done, your Ziyarats are done, the ulama would have prepared you with some mandatory lectures for the proceedings and the process for Umrah. It is now your time to leave Medina. They will explain this to you and refresh you during your stay in Medina when they do their lectures with you. The procedure is that you will wear your ihram from the hotel. You will go to the miqat and follow the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The miqat is Bir Ali or Dhul Hulayfa, which is the point for Hujaj and Mutamirin who leaving from Medina for Makkah Mukarramah. And this will be explained to you in detail during your lectures in Medina. We will notify you of your departure time. If it is on a Friday, we will notify you of the departure time after Jummah Salah. If it is on any other day, we will notify you before the Zuhr Salah. We will then notify you to please collect your luggage tags to mark your bags. We will ask you to leave your bags outside your room. The porters will then collect your bags and bring it down to our designated loading area. Or if you want to, you can bring your bags down and leave it with us. We will then proceed either via, regardless of whether you're taking a bus or a train, we will then take you via bus to the Miqat to perform your Salatul Ihram. And from there, you will then proceed on to Makkah direct from the Miqat. If you're traveling by bus or by private vehicle, you will take you from the Miqat direct to Makkah. If you are traveling by a train, we will take you to the train station. You will then wait for the train boarding time. You will board the train. Our mission team, we will be with you. You will board the train. You will then proceed on to Makkah. Those traveling by bus, just to keep you updated with sometimes, you will stop and by private vehicle, you will stop at a checkpoint outside of Medina. They will check that you are permitted to enter into the boundaries of Makkah. They will check that your passport has been the necessary permits, and you will pass that checkpoint. You will then have a stop halfway between Medina and Makkah, and then before you enter Makkah, again, there will be another checkpoint. The bus journey will last anywhere between 6 hours to 8 hours, but it is broken up, inshallah. Those on the train, you will go from the Miqat to the train station, wait for your train, board the train, travel the 2.5 hours from Medina to Makkah. On arrival in Makkah, inshallah, the mission team will be waiting for you. We will then have the buses waiting for you at the train station, and from there we will board you and then take you to your respective hotels. Please note, Hujaaj, if you have not confirmed this, we've notified you this previously, there are no variations or deviations allowed anymore. Whatever your contract states for your transport movement from Medina to Makkah is set and final. At the Miqat, inshallah, the ulama team, like I mentioned before, will prepare you and guide you and wait for you here. Please do not delay the group. The Miqat will be very busy, especially for those on the 4-week, 3-week and 2-week packages. The Miqat will be busy. It will be easy to get disorientated, especially since everyone is in Ihram. Please ensure you are wearing your identifying markers. I cannot plead to you enough or stress to you enough the importance of wearing your branded colors during the journey of Hajj. Not just for our peace of mind, but for your peace of mind, to help identify your group if you are separated. Pay attention to where the bus stops on the miqat, because you will then have to walk back to the bus as well. Hujaaj, something we'd like to reiterate to you guys, and we will mention this to you, especially when it comes to the days of Hajj, is following protocols and following the instructions of the group. This is not a race. There's no rush. No one is going to get a prize for being first anywhere. If we ask you to form a single file line or a two abreast line, husband and wives next to each other, please do so. It makes it easier for us to keep track. It makes it easier for us to count the group. It makes us look and appear as a manageable size when arriving, and for the orders and the systems that the relevant authorities at the train stations, at the muassasa, at the check-in points have. There's some images that I'll take you through, inshallah. So clips of charge
keep as close as possible in the group.
Obviously, once you arrive at the station, it's then boarding up into the boarding area. Once your tickets are scanned in, and as you can see, everyone is wearing their respective colors and to abreast in line. It is very important, Hujaaj. We give you instructions not to be difficult, but because we've done this over the years, we've experience, we know. If the Hujaaj follow the instructions we give, Alhamdulillah, something I'd like to remind Hujaaj is that these are the boundaries of the Haram of Makkah al-Mukarramah. Every salah that you pray within the boundaries of the Haram is equal to praying within the Grand Masjid. Once you enter into this, you are unable to hunt, clip your nails, break any plants, or pick up any lost property of anyone else. There are other restrictions, but the ulama will guide you in this, inshallah. But just to show Hujaaj that these are the boundaries, the Haram boundaries of Makkah. If you look carefully at the map on the screen, you will see in towards the middle of the right hand side, you will see the big white patch that is the plains of Mina or the Mashayir. Left in the center is the Haram itself, and below the letter E and U is the Azizia suburb, where we will be staying as preparation before we move on to before the days of Hajj. This map shows you the location of the hospitals, bus stops, and hotels in use for Hajj 2025. You can have your time to look through this. Again, these PDFs are available to you. Once you'll arrive in Makkah, you'll be met by the mission team and the SAUC team, who will proceed to assist with offloading your luggage at the respective hotel. If there's any luggage in the buses, ideally we would have liked to have sent your luggage before you arrive in Makkah. So we will send your luggage the evening before. However, if you have any carry-on luggage or things that you've carried with you, it'll be in the hold of the bus, and the team will then offload it for you and leave it with the check-in team at the hotel. Please ensure that your bags are offloaded from the cabin of the bus. Don't leave any cell phones inside or anything at the top. We often find Hujaaj, in the excitement to get off the bus, they forget that they've brought things on and they've left it up. Before you're allowed to disembark, the muassasa will arrive with us. They will come onto the bus, they will count everyone, and they will confirm that the travelers on this bus are according to the manifest of permitted Hujaaj entering into Makkah. And they will then place onto your wrist the most expensive piece of plastic jewelry you will have, the Hajj wristband. Hujaaj, you cannot take this off your band, this wristband off your hand. It has to remain on your wrist for the duration of the journey. So please ensure when they put it on that it is not too tight, because you will have to make wudu, you will have to shower with it. The only time you can take this band off is the day you are leaving for the airport, inshallah. Please note, you have to remain on the bus until they do this. Once you have received your room key cards and your bags and proceeded to your rooms, you can refresh yourself. Please pay attention to the notices on your WhatsApp group and on TWF, and we will tell you what time your meeting point in the foyer is for your group Umrah, inshallah. Those of you all who have performed Umrah before and are familiar and accountable and wish to go on to perform Umrah without the group, you can do so on your own. However, we do provide the service with the alims and the ulama team and the khadims, where we will guide you and assist you and take you to the Haram so you can perform your first Umrah, inshallah. One of the additions that we've provided for you this year is a a toolkit to make the experience of the Umrah a more enjoyable experience, a more holistic experience. Because what we found over the years is when the groups are quite large, that those at the back of the group or those at the sides often don't hear what the alims are saying. So on arrival, before your Umrah begins, we will issue each of you a toolkit. You will hang this lanyard around your neck with the unit, and you will place the earpiece within your ear, and inshallah you will hear the instructions of the alims and the khadims assigned to take your Umrah. Hujaaj, each of you will be signing a form accepting responsibility for this. The cost of the replacement is 1,500 Rand. Please do not lose it or damage it. Once your Umrah is done, there will be a team waiting for you to receive this unit from you at your hotel foyer. You will then place this unit will then be handed back to the khadim or mission worker assigned to that. Just to give you all a sneak peek of what the experience is like when you're entering into the mataf. Hujaaj, I had shot this quite early in Hajj a few years back, so the experience will be a bit different for some. Inshallah, once your tawaf is done, you will be then guided and directed to perform sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Again, it is very important that the group stay together. Hujaaj, we always advise that our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our daughters are kept in the center of the group, in the center, and our menfolk, our brothers, our uncles, our fathers are on the outside, and we ask you to put your one hand on in front of the shoulder of the brother in front of you to form a ring around our sisters and our females, and when we guide them onto the mataf. It is important and imperative that we all learn to keep pace with the group. Try not to let the elders and those who are slower get left behind. It can be disorientating, it can give people anxiety if they're separated from the group. We are doing our best with the toolkits to ensure that you can hear what the alims are saying, you can follow the instructions, but it is up to us as a group to work together, to keep the group together, so that we can stay together on the mataf when we're performing tawaf. You will see other nationalities doing this as well. You'll see how they keep their people together, and we refer to them as trains. Other groups will cut left and right. Don't allow our group to be cut, because if you get separated or if you allow a gap to form between the group, others will fill in, and then you're now causing a separation between our Hujaaj, inshallah. Once the sa'i is done, the ulama and the khadim teams will guide you back out to the haram and show you where you will perform your halq, and you are then out of the ihram, inshallah, and your umrah is completed. Things work a little bit differently in Makkah. There's limited areas we can perform lectures and ziyarats with you here. Please pay attention to your itinerary and the notices. Nafil Tawaf will be performed on the upper floors of the Haram and the roof. We will notify you on your WhatsApp group of the respective meeting points of a Nafil Tawaf that we include every few evenings for you, inshallah. Remember, perform as much Tawaf as you can when you're in Makkah. You will familiarize yourself with the entrances and the exits of the Haram, because during the days of Hajj, you will need to know this as well, inshallah. Just to give you a sneak peek of the Haram, I took this picture back in 2019, I think it was, when everyone was allowed onto the Haram, inshallah. Inshallah, Hujaaj, this is an image I took of the Haram on the 1st of Zulhijjah after Isha a few years back, just to give you an indication of how full the Haram is. Now, this is a video clip I took to show you guys, to show you the amount of luggage that has to be moved on the 4-week packages from Medina to Azizia. Why we stress the importance of traveling as light as possible. Once you move to Azizia and Hujaaj, you will be settled into your accommodation, but this map also is available to you. The distances are available to you, and it'll give you an indication of the locations of your various landmarks and the accommodation that you're residing in, and the routes to navigate when getting into and out of the haram, inshallah. Once you arrive in Azizia, remember Azizia is a suburb outside of the haram district, within the boundaries of the haram of Makkah. 2 days before you move to Azizia, we will request that your bags be brought down, Hujaaj. We just ask you to keep your essentials with you for the next day or so in your backpack, but to send your main bags away to Azizia. This is to make it easier for the team, it's to make it easier for you, because number one, it's difficult for us to then get a truck into the different hotel entrances, as well as your bags, as well as the buses to load you off. And on that time, on the day, we may ask you to move at 6:30 a.m. This is to avoid road closures and delays. Hujaaj, not on the buses, will have to make their own way to Azizia. We will share pin locations for you. Once you're in Azizia, after you've had your orientation, we will show you and teach you the quickest ways to get back to the haram if you want to go back to the haram. But Hujaaj, we ask you to use the time in Azizia to rest and prepare for the days of Hajj, because this is the culmination of your journey. This is what you are here for, the stay in Medina and the stay in Makkah, inshallah. Once you're in Azizia, the three most easiest ways to transfer around is Careem or Uber. Careem is the Uber equivalent for the Middle East, the white taxis or the yellow taxis, as well as the Makkah bus transit system. There are Makkah bus pickup points on Masjid al-Haram Road, which is close to where each of you all are staying. If you need assistance, the Khadims can point out where the bus stops are for you, inshallah. As I mentioned before, Hujaaj, inshallah, during your stay in Azizia, rest, prepare and rest again. Your days here are for the journey of Hajj. Do not risk yourself, your health. Do not push yourself. Take the opportunity to recoup. During your stay in Azizia, the Hujaaj will have a series of programs where they will rotate between the different buildings and prepare you on the various aspects of the journey, as well as prepare you for the logistics of the Hajj, inshallah. On the 1st of June, we will then orientate everyone and give you all a walking orientation from your accommodation to the camp in Mina, and from the camp in Mina to the Jamarat, back to your accommodation in Azizia. This entire process will take between 3 to 4 hours of walking. Hujaaj, please, this is a test for you as well, because it's the first time you'll get an indication of the distances you're walking during Hajj, as well as the locations. And even though we try to do our best to do this at night, remember the temperatures are upwards of 30 to 40 degrees. How to identify the route that you take from the Jamarat back to the camp, inshallah. An overall look of the Bashair, inshallah, just to give Hujaaj help them orientate themselves to the locations and in relation to each other. Arafa is in the lower right hand side corner of the map, the Haram in the top left hand side corner, Mina and obviously Azizia below that. You will see a brown road that joins the walking path from Mina to Arafa. You'll see the location of our pin location of our camp there, and you'll see the location of our camp on Arafa. It's the furthest point for South Africa. When it comes to your backpack, Hujaaj, if you cannot hold your backpack out in front of you, it means your backpack is too heavy. We ask you to pack only the bare essentials for the first 3 days. Your toiletries, your Hajj mat, your medication that is required. If you require insulin to be stored, please notify us and the SAUC team. They will store this for you accordingly. Your shoe bag, a power bank, some toilet paper, some wet wipes. These are basic essentials that you will need for the first 3 days of Hajj, inshallah. Do not overburden yourself. If you can't hold your bag out in front of you, it means your bag is too heavy. Every kilometer that you walk with a heavy bag, that bag will start feeling like it's 2 to 3 kilos heavier, inshallah. On the morning of the 8th of Zulhijjah, again, these procedures will be explained to you. You will get up, you will enter into the state of Ihram, and Hujaaj, something to keep in mind. Try to perform your ghusl the night before. And I know you're going to be excited, and I know there's going to be a lot of emotions, but be prepared for this day. Get your things in order the day before. So you will perform your ghusl, you will enter into Ihram, and after Fajr Salah at your respective accommodations, you will then pronounce the talbiyah and your intention for Hajj with the alim team and the mission team. You will then proceed. You will proceed either one of two ways, either walking from your respective accommodation or by the provided shuttle buses. Either way is up to the Hujaaj to choose. You will all arrive at Mina at the appointed time that Allah has ordained for you to arrive there. So there is no rush, there is no race. Hujaaj will arrive there when they are meant to arrive there. One thing I need to appeal to Hujaaj is when you arrive on Mina, I need you all to understand that this will be the most difficult day of your life. This will be the most difficult day of the journey. It will get better. Once the sun sets on this day, you will find that peace that you're looking for. I promise you, once the sun sets and the temperature starts dropping, you will find the joy that you were looking for. But have faith. You will be tested. It's going to be hot. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be out of your comfort zones. There's no space. You look at the size of the mattresses. Your room person next to you will be next to you for the days of Hajj. When you arrive in the tents, Hujaaj, fill up from the back corner of the tent. Don't sit and start jumping or placing your bags anywhere. It makes it difficult for us, once the tents get filled up, to start identifying where the gaps are. The mission team on the ground will guide you to the back of the tent and fill up from here onwards. The elderly, those who have mobility challenges, we will place them closer to the exits. But everyone else, we will fill you in from the back of the tent onwards. This is to allow those who arrive later than you a chance to find their spaces and to fill up the tents accordingly, inshallah. This is what everyone has anxiety about as well. It's what the toilets are like on Mina. It's not that difficult. There are 2 to 3 high pans and the remainder would be low pans. There will be a block of toilets dedicated to the females and there will be a block of toilets dedicated to the men. Try and account for what the waqt of salah are. Go to make wudu earlier than that. And especially when you know we're going to be moving, try and make sure that you have your wudu or use the toilet facilities before that, inshallah. On the day of Arafa, we will ask you all to remain in your tents after Fajr Salah. We will then tell you what time we will be moving. How the system works, before Hajj starts, the 3 accredited service providers will draw lots to see which group moves first, and that order will remain for the remaining days of Hajj. So your movement from Azizia to Mina, from Mina to Arafa, from Arafa to Muzdalifah, and then obviously on the end of Hajj from the return from Mina back to Azizia, that's the order the shuttle buses will work. If we draw lot 1, 2 or 3, we will ask you to remain in the tent, and in an orderly fashion we will call the people out from the tent to then board the buses. Please do not stand in the passageway. Please do not crowd. Again, I remind you, Hujaaj, this is not a race. There is no prize for being first. By following the instructions and by being orderly, we can move you all the more efficiently. We are avoiding congestion. The spaces in Mina between the tents is narrow. And it's very difficult now to move people once all 1,050 Hujaaj that we have are standing within these passageways. It makes it difficult for the other Hujaaj who are still waiting for their appointed time to get to the facilities, to go to the bathrooms. Remain in the tents until we ask you to move from the tents. And the same thing applies on Arafah, when we ask you to move from Arafah to Muzdalifah. Remain in the tents once Wukuf is ended, so that we know where you are, we're not misplaced, no one is left behind, no one is lost or disorientated. After Wukuf is ended, go back to your tent, wait there until we tell you it is time for us to move, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, all the stories that you've heard from back in the day of it take 3 to 4 to 5 hours to get to Makkah is no longer like that. It will take you 15 minutes maximum to get from Arafah. Once you hold the bus from Arafah, it's quick. Once you pass the yellow borders, you will see these markers on the plains of Arafa. Once you are here, take the opportunity to rest and prepare for the time of wukuf. This is an overview of the camp location that we were assigned last year. We have been told we might be getting assigned the same camp. That's 1.2 kilometers away from Jabal Rahma. Hujaaj, while you were here, your du'as are accepted everywhere within the plains of Arafah. You can walk around, but please, it is very easy to get disorientated year on year. Hujaaj who aren't familiar, who are not easy or comfortable navigating, tend to get lost, tend to lose the direction they went in, are unable to navigate back to the camp. This is what the TWF app is here. This is what the pin location and saving the locations are for, so that we can find you. But please, it is difficult. It is hot. Do your best to follow our instructions. Do your best to stay with the group, as it then makes it difficult for us now to have to allocate someone to go out and find you and bring you back. This is what the camps of Arafah look like. Alhamdulillah, they are fully air conditioned. The females will be allocated a tent, the males will be allocated a tent, and our camp, our tents, our groupings will be, our TWF group will be together on one side of the camp, and obviously their respective agents will have their facilities or tents. Well, they're no longer tents, but these structures that they built allocated to them for their males and their females. On Arafah, a program will be shared with you guys, and then you will update you accordingly. Arafah is a bit easier with regard to space, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Hujaaj. Welcome to your camp for Arafah 2024. This is the South facility out here, the administration's office. I'm on the rooftop of the ablution facility.
So this video was taken a few days before Hajj, when we had gone off to sign off on the tents and the allocation.
All these tents are allocated to South Africa.
Hujaaj, a personal appeal from myself on the day of Arafah, this is what your journey has been for. Don't waste time on this day. The most important du'as are the du'as that you make. Don't allow anyone else to make du'as for you. Why waste this moment where Allah has descended from the heavens to right above the plains of Arafah to listen to you and to accept from you? Every du'a you make on this day is accepted, inshallah, except one. Allah, make that sun set slower, because I promise you all, once you all start watching that sunset, it is a reminder of the transient nature of your life, because you suddenly realize that your time is running out. Once that sun sets, wukuf is over, so maximize on your time. Once wukuf starts, go out with your spouse, go out with your partner, make du'as, take a moment to rest, pace yourself, go out, make du'a, rest, come back, and maximize on your time on this day. Once wukuf is over, the day of Arafah is done. Once it has ended, inshallah, Hujaaj, we'll ask you to, like I mentioned earlier, remain in your tent until we tell you to come up to the loading area. There is no rush. Everyone is going to get to Muzdalifah, inshallah. Please, again, follow the instructions, and at the single line or the two abreast line with husband and wife next to each other is how we ask you to line up and proceed to the pin once we ask you to get up and do Once you have boarded your bus, or you've chosen to walk from Arafah to Muzdalifah, if you've chosen to walk from Arafah to Muzdalifah, you will be led on a separate path. Those who take the bus will be on a separate path, on a separate route. The night of Muzdalifah is a difficult one. It is not a night of 1,000 stars. There's no stars. It's a night of buses, it's a night of diesel fumes, it's a night of buses hooting. You are going to be tired, you're going to be disorientated. Hujaaj, we ask you, once you arrive on Muzdalifah, it is vital that you follow the instructions of the mission team. Do not leave gaps, because you will arrive at Muzdalifah, depending on what time you get there, and you will find that it might be empty or it might be getting crowded. Once we ask you, stay together as a group so we can identify our groups, that we know where our people are. Sit down, you will read your Maghrib and Isha together, and then you can rest. If you go to sleep and you find you'll wake up in a couple of hours' time, you will find that wherever you left a gap, someone would have come down to sleep. And it then gets very disorientating to try and identify where the rest of our people are. So we appeal to you all, as a group, once you get to Muzdalifah, stick together as a group and keep the group as tight as possible, so that once we wake up on Muzdalifah and perform our Fajr and the Wukuf of Muzdalifah, that we can then get up and proceed together as a group from Muzdalifah back to the Mina camp, inshallah. Once we start proceeding to Mina camps, we will give you an opportunity to use the facilities to rest. If you want to leave your backpack or empty anything inside there, you will leave it there, but remember, you will only get back to Mina later on that evening. After we go back to Azizia for the Damish. This is the summit of Muzdalifah. As you can see on the left, Muzdalifah was empty when the people arrived, and on the right, the clip showed you how busy it gets. It gets very difficult to navigate when there's millions of people all laying down here. The walk from Muzdalifah to Mina was about 2.3 kilometers, based on what our estimations of where our location will be. It'll take you about 1 hour to walk. As I mentioned before, keep the group together, walk at the pace of the slowest people, and support and guide the elderly. Once we get to the camp, we will then give you a chance to use the facilities if you want to use the toilets, and we will then proceed on to the Jamarat for Pelting. You should all be familiar with the route that we take, because we are giving you the orientation, inshallah, and then we will arrive at the Jamarat for Pelting. Now, what I want to show you guys on the next slide is how the method of pelting that we will guide you on as your mission team. If you've ever put in a stone of water into a river, or into you've seen water flow around a rock in a river, there's always the water goes around it like that. So what we want you to do is, we will show you this. We will enter that Jamarat together. We will go around the crowd, which forms just like water hitting up a stone in a river. You will find a gap at the ending of if my finger's pointing at it correctly, at the end of the Jamarat. That is where we will go to pelt, inshallah. Remember, stay together as a group. Protect the women folk, let the women folk pelt first, and then the husbands can pelt thereafter, inshallah. It is very important that we stick together, because on this day, everyone is pelting and it's easy to get lost and disorientated. Hence the orientation walks, and hence we ask you, stay with the group. In the back of the video clip, you will notice three green numbers on the pillars. We will identify a pillar if there's a large group and say, Hujaaj, please meet us here, or when you finish pelting, come meet us here before we proceed on, inshallah. Once your pelting is done, you will then exit from the Jamarat structure. Those who wish to proceed on to the Haram, you will follow the clearly marked walking path that will lead you from the Jamarat back to the Haram, inshallah, where you can complete your Tawaf Ziyarah. Those who want to go back to Azizia, this is what we normally do. We take you back to Azizia, inshallah, and then you can rest and wait for your Dam Shukr to be completed. It is important, Hujaaj, once you complete your pelting, you open up your TWF app, you go to your essential rites, and you tick off that you've completed your pelting on this day. We will then get a notification that your pelting is done and that we can complete your Dam Shukr, inshallah. Once your Dam Shukr is done, you can complete your halq, shave your head, ladies trim your hair. You are out of the physical ihram and you can now wear your normal clothes. You are still bound by the laws of ihram that restrict you from relations with your wife, etc. Walk back to Azizia. This is the famous tunnel that you're talking about. Back to Azizia. show you this route so that you're all familiar with it, inshallah. From a mission team perspective and from our guidance, we advise Hujaaj to wait until the evening of the 4th day of Hajj to perform your Tawaf al-Ziyarah. The reason for this is being the Haram on that Friday will be extremely busy. It will be full and you'll find a lot of difficulty getting there. Performing your Tawaf on the evening of the 4th day of Hajj is when it's at its quietest. After Isha, you'll be able to perform your Tawaf very quickly. Within 45 minutes, you'll be able to complete your 7 rounds of Tawaf and then proceed to Safa Marwa to complete your Sa'i. Once that's done, you will then take a taxi or transport back from the Haram back to Mina, inshallah, for the 5th and 6th day of Hajj. We advise Hujaaj at this point that they would have to carry 100 riyals minimum per person as a safety net for any cost of transport back. Hujaaj, remember, once the days of Hajj start, from Muzdalifah onwards, everyone is walking. You can't take a taxi from Azizia to the camp. If you take a taxi from the Haram back to Azizia, it'll drop you off. The closest point is the King Abdullah Bridge. And from the King Abdullah Bridge, you will have to walk to the Mina camp, inshallah. After the 6 days of Hajj is completed and you return back to Azizia, you will notice the manifested bus departure schedules or transport schedules displayed at each of your hotels. You will then get a notification to you telling you when you need to be downstairs with your luggage. We ask you to bring your luggage down earlier. You will be departing a minimum 8 to 10 hours before your flight. You cannot change this or ask to depart later. This is a system in place by the ministry to prevent congestion at the airports, at the check-in counters. Once your luggage is down, you will come and place in the demarcated area. It will be loaded into your respective bus and you will jump on that bus or your respective transport and be transported to Jeddah. Once you arrive in Jeddah, you will be taken cleared and all checked in, your group can then proceed to the airport. Hujaaj, there's nothing we can do about this. Everyone has to wait, and as I've reminded you all over the period of time, waiting is part of the journey. Hajj is a series of frantic activities broken up by long periods of waiting. Use this time in the remembrance of Allah and zikr. You will all be where you need to be when you need to be there, inshallah. This is what the area looks like. Comfortable, it's not as difficult as the horror stories of waiting at the Hajj terminal. None of that applies any longer. Alhamdulillah, they've made the facilities as modern and as comfortable as they can for the Hujaaj. At the airport, once you arrive at the airport, the South mission team will be waiting for you. They will check that the bus has arrived. They will account and ensure that you each receive back your passports. Once you've received your passports back, you will then proceed to the Zamzam counters to purchase your Zamzam. Each box costs 12 riyals 50, and you will then take a box and mark it. That's why we always say, Hujaaj, carry a permanent marker or a sticker, write your details on this, and when you proceed to the check-in counter, they will label it as a piece of luggage and ask you to drop it off at a specific drop-off point before you then proceed to immigration and depart for your flight. And alhamdulillah, Hujaaj, that is the logistics of your journey in a nutshell. You can refer to the PDF we've prepared for you at any time. Something I'd like to add on to this is that the Sauk team, the clinics, locations will be shared with you. You can find them easily during your journey. In Medina, in Makkah, and during the days of Hajj, the clinic is based on Mina. A few days after Hajj, it'll be open for, I think, 2 days after Hajj. Last year it was open for 2 days after Hajj before it closed off again, inshallah. Essential apps for your journey, the TWF app, which is specifically developed for you with your live updates on your mission team, your itinerary, your documentation, your rites of Hajj. Nusuk is also very important for you to install. You need to keep this app for your individual Roda booking. The IMO app is what we frequently use for communication back home with friends and family, and obviously Kareem and Uber. Any other additional information or apps that we find that will be of benefit to you, we will notify you accordingly, inshallah. Hujaaj, shukran for your time. If I made any mistakes, please I ask for maaf. That is from me. And any good that you benefit from this presentation, that is from Allah Ta'ala. I make dua that Allah accept from you all and grant you all a Hajj Maqbool and a Hajj Mabrur. Grant you all what is good for you in this life, or even better in the hereafter. If you have any questions, inshallah, please, you can message myself or any of the mission team, and we will be honored to assist you and guide you through this, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.